Hello students, welcome to the first video of motion. Now motion is the beginning of the physics syllabus of class 9 and it has a lot of significance in our life, right? Even Einstein have once said that nothing happens until something moves. Motion is life and lack of motion is death. So the question is, what is motion? Now this is not very difficult to answer, right? Because when you look around yourself, you will observe two different types of object, right? There will be some object which continuously changes their position, like birds. We have like the boys which is running on a street, like moving cars, moving buses, right? And then there are some objects which remain fixed at their position and they do not change their position, like trees, like houses. So in physics, all these objects which changes their position continuously, they are said to be in motion, and all those objects which remain fixed at their position and do not change their position, they are said to be at rest. But change in motion is not the actual definition of motion, right? Because in order to define motion, we need a fixed point called reference point, right? So let us first understand what is reference point. Now, reference point it is basically a fixed point with respect to which the motion of a body is observed. Now let's understand this reference point with the help of an example. Suppose we are sitting in a moving bus, right? So when we look through the window, we observe that the trees and the houses, they are moving backward, right? They continuously change their position. But for a person who is not sitting in the moving bus, who is outside of the bus, the same trees and the houses, they are not moving, right? They do not change their position. So when we take ourselves as a reference point, then the trees and the houses, they change their position. But when we are taking that person who is outside of the bus as a reference point, then the same trees and houses, they were not changing their position. So whether a body is changing its position or not, that depends on the reference point. So now as you know what is reference point, let's define what is motion. A body is said to be in motion if changes its position with respect to a reference point. So whenever we define motion, we have to mention the reference point, right? The reference point हम लोग इसको select करें. Now what is rest? So a body is said to be at rest if it does not change its position with respect to So whenever we have to define the rest and motion of a body, then we have to mention the reference. So as we have defined what is rest and motion, let us take few more examples to ensure that we have understood this concept of rest and motion. So now suppose if you are talking about this board or the walls of your room. So is this board or that walls, are they actually at rest or in motion? Now the answer seems to be very straightforward, right? Because for us, this board is not changing its position or the walls are not changing their position, so they are at rest. But are they actually at rest? And the answer is no. Because if the same board or the same walls will be observed by some astronaut, right, who is in outer space, then the same board or the same walls will appear to be moving. They will be changing their position because the whole earth is moving, right? So this board is at rest with respect to us, but the same board is in motion with respect to the astronaut. So there is nothing which is at absolute rest. It all depends on the reference point that we are taking, right? Whether a body is at rest or a body is in motion. Therefore, we also say that rest and motion are relative terms. Now let's write this. Rest and motion are relative terms. Now, what is relative terms? Relative terms means that it depends on the reference point, right? Whether a body is at rest or in motion. For example, when in earlier times people used to say that Earth is at rest and Sun revolves around Earth, right? Because that is what they used to see. But Galileo clarified that Earth is not at rest, right? Earth is moving around the Sun. So this is all relative motion. It all depends on the reference point. So this is very important, that rest and motion are relative terms. And this means that an object can be at rest in one situation but the same object can be motion in another situation. So that is why rest and motion are relative. Now we observe different types of motion in our daily life, right? We have observed rectilinear motion where a body is moving in a straight line. We have also seen circular motion where a body is moving in a circular path. We have also seen revolutionary motion, like when Earth revolves around Sun, or rotatory motion, right? Or oscillatory motion, like the pendulum. But in class 9, we are going to study about motion in a straight line, right? So in this chapter, we will study about the body which is always moving in a straight line, and we will also study a little bit about circular motion, right? In this chapter, we have to study about the different parameters of motion, like distance, displacement, speed, velocity, acceleration. But before all these parameters, let us study what is scalar quantity and vector quantity. divide all the physical quantities into two types, scalar quantity and vector quantity. So what is scalar quantity and vector quantity? Now scalar quantity is a quantity which has only magnitude, right? But vector quantity is a physical quantity which has both magnitude as well as direction. Now let us understand this scalar quantity and vector quantity with the help of example. Like suppose when we go to a market, right? And when we purchase some vegetables. So suppose we are buying 5 kg potatoes. Now if you have to purchase 5 kg potatoes, then we only need to mention 5 kg potatoes, right? We do not have to mention कि भैया 5 kg मुझे 5 kg आलू ईस्ट के डायरेक्शन में चाहिए, या फिर मुझे 5 kg आलू वेस्ट के डायरेक्शन में चाहिए, right? This is very illogical. So this 5 kg, right? This 5 kg represents mass, and this mass has only magnitude. There is no need of direction, right? So this mass is a scalar quantity. But suppose if I say that my house is 100 meter from this place. So if I am saying that मेरा घर यहाँ से 100 मीटर की दूरी पे, तो 100 मीटर की दूरी तो ऊपर भी होगा, नीचे भी होगा, राइट भी होगा, लेफ्ट भी होगा, हर तरफ होगा. So when I am saying 100 meter, then here I have to specify the direction. So therefore in physics, if all the physical quantity will be divided into these two categories, there will be few physical quantity which have only magnitude, and then there will be few physical quantity which needs both magnitude as well as direction. So now let us define what is a scalar quantity and vector quantity. Those physical quantity which has magnitude only are called scalar quantities. For example, mass, distance that we will study, speed, etc. Right? On the other hand, we have vector quantity, those physical quantity which have both magnitude as well as direction are called vector quantities. For example, force is a vector quantity. Displacement will study, etc. So this is all about scalar quantity and vector quantity. This vector quantity we have to study this vector quantity in detail in higher classes, right? But for class 9 we have to understand this concept only, that all those physical quantity which have magnitude, they are scalar, and which have both magnitude as well as direction, they are vector quantity. So that's all for this video, and in the next video we will study what is distance and displacement.